I definitely can't complain about the view from my humble basement document translation office, which looks out onto granite paradise. And the rocks for today's video are literally just outside the window. So come along and let's check out this small but unique rock-hounding treasure trove that I think really holds some fascinating geologic interest, not to mention a look back into Rocky Mountain mining history. We are looking at tailings from a historic mine in Montana's Elkhorn Mountains, known as Skyline Mine, whose operations ended during the 1860s. To my knowledge, they were mining gold, and they left a huge amount of these tailings, with some of these beautiful brecciated boulders as big as a truck. With its remote location, I think this mine is more well known to off-roading enthusiasts rather than to rockhounds, because of a nearby lake, beautiful location, and also the fact that it has a couple of historic cabins, and is accessible only by a four-wheel drive trail known simply as the Skyline Mine Trail. There is plenty of information online about the trail and therefore the mine, though I could not find much about it geologically speaking. My brother-in-law has an off-roading channel if you're interested in that content. It's called The Uncrowded Path, and he has a great video, or maybe even more than one, posted that show this trail and some of the mine area. As is the case with many of my rocks, I got these before I had a YouTube channel, and therefore I don't have much other than the rocks themselves to show you. I went there with my brother-in-law and my sister and some of the family, and it was so much fun. I got to sleep in the mentioned cabin, which was cool. The site is almost 9,000 feet above sea level, and so is only accessible for a few months during the summer due to the snow. Here is a dry versus wet view of a few typical pieces of this material. Note how sparkly the black mineral filling the voids is. And we see that only the biggest voids had space left over from the black mineral for quartz crystals to grow. Remember that mineral-rich fluids emanating from large plutonic magma bodies at depth are often what rush into and mineralize the surrounding rock, which is often shattered and brecciated as a result of the same event, providing all these empty spaces in which gold, silver, and countless other interesting minerals could be deposited. Considering that the area was uplifted extensively during the Laramide orogeny, it is no surprise that we see such a large area of completely shattered rock re-cemented into this beautiful breccia with such interesting minerals as we see here, but even more so what undoubtedly led to the presence of the precious metals that they were mining in the first place. This red piece really highlights a feature that I want you to notice, and I myself didn't notice it until today when I was making the video. The shattered rock was first lined with almost fibrous, radiating, needle-like crystals of whatever the black mineral is, and then the milky quartz grew over and completely encased these needles. The mineral is not magnetic, it has radiating clusters of needle-like crystals and formed in what appears to be a hydrothermal deposit. Any of you out there up on your mineral identification, I would really appreciate a helping hand on identifying what this might be. That would be awesome. The same occurrence is found in all these rocks, as you can see here in these photos. I was able to find some basic information about the mine on westernmininghistory.com, and they said they got their information from USGS databases. It turns out that while gold was the primary metal they were mining, they also found plenty of copper, silver, lead, and zinc. The host rock, which I can agree with now that I look at my samples, they say is a late Cretaceous age volcanic tuff. And the minerals common in the mine were sphalerite, chalcopyrite, and galena, which were the ores that they were mining. And then accessory minerals were tourmaline, marcasite, quartz, and pyrite. If this information is correct, then my guess on the black crystals would be tourmaline. But as I said earlier, I would love to hear from you who know a lot more about these minerals. Remember that these rocks have been sitting on that hillside for around 160 years, and so some of them have lichen gardens growing on them, which I try to preserve. One of these days I will post a video about my lichens, as I have quite a bit of it around here from different places. I try to face them away from the direct sun, and they do quite well here. A good friend of mine sent me a recipe where you can blend pulverized lichens or mosses with yogurt or milk and spread the mixture over the rocks and keep it damp for a time, and in theory, the lichens will grow. Can you imagine all these sculptures with brightly colored lichens all over them? At my sister's house in Montana, there is a huge piece of today's featured material. My brother-in-law sent me these photos of it for the making of this video. And again, I hope you will check out his Uncrowded Path YouTube channel to find out more about how to get to such exotic places as is Montana's Skyline Mine and many others that he has featured on his channel. I am adding a link to it here for you at the end. Also, let me know your thoughts about these rocks and anything else for that matter in the comments. And as always, please like and share this where you can, as it really gets the word out for us. Thank you, and God bless you guys till the next one.